There were 3 Burmese invasions of Assam between 1817 and 1826, during which time the Kingdom of Assam came under the control of Burma from 1821 to 1825. Locally at this period, called the manor by the Assamese and Chahi-Taret Khuntakpa in Manipuri, is remembered with horror. It was the climactic period of the 600-year history of the Assamese kingdom. The sharp drop in population due both to depredations as well emigrations left the erstwhile kingdom in shambles. The British, who were earlier reluctant to colonize Assam, came into direct contact with a belligerent Burmese occupying force. Following the First Anglo-Burmese War, they annexed not just Assam but also Burma. Background: in the later part of 18th century, the Ahom kingdom in Assam was wreaked by a series of rebellions. The Moamaria rebellion in Upper Assam and the Dundiya rebellion in Western Assam severely weakened the Ahom kingdom due to loss of lives and property. The Prime Minister Purnananda Burgohain tried his best to re-establish Ahom rule over the region. With great efforts, he finally suppressed all the rebellions and firmly established the royal authority over the kingdom. For smooth functioning of administration and to consolidate his power, he appointed all his relatives in high posts of Ahom kingdom. Bidar Chandra Borphukan, the governor of Guwahati, was anxious of the growing power of Purnananda Burgohain. At first, he tried to make friendship with Purnananda Burgohain. He gave his daughter Pijugabhoru to Purnananda's son, Urikanath Dakilpukan, along with a huge amount of gold ornaments and utensils as dowry. The move backfired when Purnananda Burgohain expressed his displeasure and suspected Bidar Chandra Borphukan of misusing his office. Angered by the behavior of Purnananda Burgohain, Bidar Chandra Borphukan encouraged conspirators in the capital Jorhat with the aim to assassinate Purnananda Burgohain. The conspiracy failed and the conspirators were punished. The alleged link of Bidar Chandra Borphukan with the conspirators got revealed. Meanwhile, the people of Western Assam complained Burgohain about the atrocities committed by Bidar Chandra Borphukan and his 2 sons, Chinmi and Piyoli. Finally, in 1815 CE, Purnananda Burgohain decided to act and he sent a deputation with orders to arrest Bidar Chandra Borphukan and bring him to the capital Jorhat for justice. Pijugabhoru, the daughter-in-law of Purnananda Burgohain, who was also the daughter of Bidar Chandra Borphukan, sent an early message to her father warning him of the impending danger. Warned by his daughter, Bidar Chandra Borphukan escaped to Bengal, which was under British rule. Burgohain's men caught him at Chilmari in Bengal, but he again escaped with the help of local Tanada, a police officer. He went to Calcutta and visited the Governor-General Lord Hastings with the plea for help to oust Purnananda Burgohain. The Governor-General declined his plea, stating the policy of non-interference in the internal matter of another kingdom. Around that time, Bidar Chandra Borphukan met the envoy of Burmese King Bodawpaya, who was on a visit at Calcutta. The envoy, after hearing his plea, took him to Burma and fixed an appointment with Bodawpaya. First Burmese invasion. In 1816, Bidar Chandra Borphukan came to the court of Burmese King Bodawpaya and sought help to defeat his political rival Purnananda Burgohain. The Burmese monarch agreed and sent an expedition under a general of Barmo, with Bidar Chandra Borphukan, which entered Assam in January 1817. The first battle took place on March 27, 1817 at Galadari. The Assam forces were led by Damon Gogoi, Haubora and Jamakan. The battle continued for a week when Purnananda Burgohain died due to natural causes. This, according to chronicles, led to the division in the ranks of the Ahom nobility, and due to lack of reinforcements the Assam army surrendered. Rushnath, the son of Purnananda, became the Burgohain and asked the king to evacuate, who refused. This led Rushnath to suspect that Chandrakanta Singha was in alliance with Badar Chandra Borfukin, and left for Guwahati without the king when the Burmese army advanced toward the Ahom capital at Jorhat. The king, Chandrakanta Singha, stayed behind, received Badar Chandra Borfukin and made him the Mantripukan. The Burmese army was paid 100,000 rupees and the commanders were given suitable presents. Himaradeo, a daughter of an Ahom prince, was sent to the king of Burma with 50 elephants and dowry. The Burmese army left Assam in April 1817. Soon after Badar Chandra was assassinated, Rushnath marched against Chandrakanta Singha and made Puranda Singha the king. Second Burmese invasion. Bodopaya, on hearing this news, sent an army of 30,000 under the command of Gyamingyi and guided by Patalang Senapati. This army was met by an army led by Jagannath Dakil Pukin on February 15, 1819 at Phulpanashiga, near Janji. The Burmese army was defeated with a loss of about 300 soldiers and retreated a short distance. The Assam army, instead of pursuing the defeated Burmese, returned to the Ahom capital Jorhat, leading to much confusion and panic. Failing to instill confidence, Rushnath Burgohain and Puranda Singha sailed down to Guwahati, and the Burmese army was able to occupy the capital 2 days later. Chandrakanta was reinstated as the king on March 9, 1819, followed by execution of the Ahom officials who had supported Rushnath Burgohain, and in the middle of April 1819 Gyamingyi left for Burma, leaving Minji Mahatilwa in charge. Under Tilwa's orders, Patalang pursued Rushnath, engaged his forces in Nagaon and finally pushed him beyond Assam Choki. Patalang was made the Borbru and the Burmese contingent returned to Burma on January 27, 1820. To express his gratitude to Bodopaya, Chandrakanta Singha sent a Princess Upama Adeo, along with officials and attendants. Nevertheless, Chandrakanta's attitude toward the Burmese changed soon after. Patalang, who was originally a native of Namrup, persuaded the king to shake off Burmese allegiance and had a fort constructed at Jaipur. Third Burmese invasion. In 1819, Bagayador became the king of Burma and decided to annex Assam. He sent Minji Mahatilwa to Assam in February 1821. Patalang Borbrua was killed and Chandrakanta Singha fled to Guwahati. Minji Maha killed a number of Ahom officials and installed Punyada, a brother of Himaradeo, as the king. Chandrakanta Singha's response. Chandrakanta Singha made his camp in Guwahati and led his campaign against the Burmese without any help from Rushnatha Puranda Singha. Puranda, who was unable to raise an army in the British territory, raised one in Bhutan under Robert Bruce, but this force was dispersed by Chandrakanta's forces in May 1821. A large force, deputed by Tilwa, advanced against Chandrakanta, who retreated to Assam Choki and then to the British territories. Unlike Puranda, Chandrakanta was able to raise a force mainly of Sikhs and Hindustani soldiers, and he retook Assam Choki and Guwahati and pitched his camp at Margaon, near Jorhat, on March 15, 1822. Bagayador, on hearing of the Assam situation, sent in a 20,000-strong contingent under Mingi Mahabandula, who attacked and defeated the forces of Chandrakanta in April 1822. Chandrakanta fell back to Guwahati, and finally to Assam Chaki, where he encountered Minjim Mahatulwa in June 1822. He was defeated and had to further retreat into the British territory. After this victory, the Burmese declared Minjim Mahatulwa the Raja of Assam and brought an end to the sovereign Ahom rule in Assam. Burmese rule. The defeat of Chandrakanta at Assam Choki brought the Burmese face to face with the British in the Brahmaputra Valley. Tulwa demanded the British hand over the fugitive king, and threatened to enter British territory to seize him. With about 7,000 troops at Assam Choki and 1,000 more at Guwahati under Bandula. Nevertheless, the Burmese troops faced logistics issues, and as a result Bandula left Guwahati, leaving Tulwa at Guwahati with only 1,000 troops. At this juncture, the Chandrakanta Singha was invited by the Burmese to come back and rule. Chandrakanta abandoned his Baroas and Pukins and surrendered to Tulwa at Assam Choki. When he reached Jorhat, he was seized and imprisoned instead. Alternative Burmese account. This account differs a little from the Burmese account in which the expedition that started in February 1821 with the 20,000 Burmese army is said to take 1.5 years to reach Assam when it defeated Chandrakanta Singha in July 1822 and made Assam a Burmese province under a military governor-general, extinguishing the 600-year-old Ahom court once and for all. Chandrakanta Singha fled to British territory of Bengal. The British ignored Bandula's demands to surrender the fugitive king, and instead sent reinforcement units to frontier forts. Mahabandula left a military garrison of 2,000 men commanded by Mahathilawa and returned to Ava. This period is remembered in Assam as very difficult, with the garrison soldiers and native marauders committing atrocities on the common people, leading to thousands leaving Assam for Bengal. Much of the neighbouring state of Manipur was also laid waste by the marauding armies. By 1825, the Meiteis had repulsed the Burmese and drove them past the Chindwin River. The occupation led to frequent contacts between the Burmese and the British and finally to the First Burmese War and the Treaty of Yandabu in 1826. This treaty marked the end of Burmese rule and the beginning of British rule in Assam. Alleged atrocities. In Burangi Vivekratna, Manir and Yuan, an eyewitness writes, In attacking the house of a rich man, would tie him with ropes and then set fire to his body. Some they flayed alive, others they burnt in oil, and others again they drove in crowds to village namgas or prayer houses, which they then set on fire. It was dangerous for a beautiful woman to meet a Burmese even on the public road. Brahmins were made to carry loads of beef, pork and wine. The Gosains were robbed of all their possessions. Fathers of damsels whom the Burmese took as wives rose speedily to affluence and power. The sort of fighting and bloody killings that took place between 1812 to 19 when the Burmese kings of Mandalay tried to conquer and subdue the Shan Ahom kingdom in Assam, India, where the Burmese garrison commander Mahathilawa's troops committed atrocities. However, the native marauders and hilly tribes, taking advantage of the unstable situation, disguised themselves as Burmese, looted the cities and probably killed more people than the invaders did. The population of Assam was greatly reduced by 2/3 and 1/3 of the men and boys were killed during this period. This events weakened and disorganized the Shan Ahom that by 1839 the kingdom was completely annexed annexed by the British. Before that, from about 1228 to 1839 AD, they maintained themselves under one dynasty. Indeed, the Shah-Hom resisted conquest by the Mughals, who had conquered much of India before the British incursion. Burmese translation of above interview. The Muslim Pangal of Manipur devastated and were taken as slaves by the invading Burmese armies.